Welcome to the show. Is it a show? Used to be one hour. Anyway, welcome. My name is Yewande and I'm your host. I'd like you to share, subscribe, and subscribe to the channel, share, and like this post. Please. Yeah, that's me wishing you have just done that. All right. Thank you very much for joining me here today. Today I want to be talking about, the Nigerian politics, the Atiku, the obedience, and Obi himself, and who's the other person? Tinubu. Yeah, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. These are the three core contestants we have right now. It's the truth. Thank God they're even up to three this time around. But they usually come out in two, just APC, PDP. This Obi seems to be a great contender. I'll give him that. He has been consistently in our faces, thanks to obedience, thanks to the diversity of it. It's a new thing, so definitely if we're going to talk about him and how far he has come in the race. I have to start off by apologizing that I've been off your faces for a while. Yeah, because I had to really think about the long-term aspect of everything, and then it just came back to me that the focus is really to just get people to see things from a different angle, a different perspective, and simply just have an understanding of some in-depth of something. So here I am talking to you about the Nigerian politics today. And since we know the election is going to be coming up, I don't know what to ask. But I think very early this year, we have to get some things into perspective, and we know how Tinubu's own played out. Nobody expected Tinubu will even win the primaries. Really, I for one actually thought Osibanjo might emerge, as the winner from the primaries. It was a shocker, and Tinubu emerged as the flag bearer for APC. Atiku emerged as flag bearer for PDP, and Obi emerged as flag bearer for Labour Party. So. We have the old drama circling in our social media communities and whatnot. So right now we have to face the truth. We have three devils, and we have to pick which one we want to go with. Yeah, don't mind me if I was running to probably maybe just say one of the devils, but they are not devils in literal sense. I'm just saying they don't exactly rub on us as the righteous enough people to assume their position, so we just have to calculate at this point what is going to happen. So I'll start with Obi. Obi is saying all the right things, seems to have the right support, and seems to be the right person for the job. It seems. But with Obi, it's tricky. Obi seems to be the right candidate at the wrong time. Now, this is what I mean. Nigeria is not ready for what someone like Obi would come and do. Nigeria is not ready for that kind of change yet. Right? That's why I feel like people that matter in the society, people that matter, the elites, will not really be thinking of getting Obi there. Nah. It's not as if it's not good. It's good. Do you understand? For someone like Obasanjo to endorse him, he is good enough. But the truth of the matter is that there's a lot that entails in being a politician, and for you to assume that pedigree of becoming a president of a country, especially a country like Nigeria, there are some things you must have been burnt on all sides, you know. And I feel Obi does not understand the weight of being the president of Nigeria. The president of Nigeria is not the same as the president of Liberia. Okay, the country is big, and as big as it is, so is the problem. The Nigerian problem is big. We have debt on our neck, which means if Obi comes into power, he's also going to borrow. I was talking to someone about this, and then it was like, yeah, of course, whoever comes to power next is going to borrow. You know, it's whatever they do with the money that counts. And then I'm saying that, agreed. But does Obi have the tenacity as a person to establish control over people that rule with him? I'm saying Obi likely having the same problem Buhari had. Buhari is fierce enough to some degree, but in terms of controlling the affairs of people around him, it became a problem. Buhari could not control Malami. Buhari could not control this Magu. Buhari could not control Mama Daura, his uncle or whatnot. There were a lot of people that Buhari could not control under his administration. You know, they became too powerful for him to control. The same thing goes for whoever wants to be president of this country. If you don't have the strong will to bite, do you understand what I'm saying? If you don't have what it takes to bite your mother, your father, your sister, you cannot be a Nigerian president. To get your will down and get people to work, put Obi side by side with someone like Obasanjo. Obasanjo will step on toes if he has to forcefully get a result with some things. Obasanjo installed Dora Kuyili, installed this woman that was with Central Bank, this finance minister, Okonjo-Iweala. He installed some people to forcefully get some things into position, into order. He was not the righteous person, of course, but he stepped on toes and he was able to get some things done. And the truth of the matter is that I don't see Obi having that. I don't see him having that. He cannot determine the behavior of people that will be in power with him. And we know how this power distribution thing works. If you are going to be a president, people that get to install you have a say in the appointments that you give. Do you understand? Somebody that gave you close to 1 billion naira to campaign, you will give something. Do you understand what I'm saying? You give something, especially to those people you actually went to meet for support. You went to them for donation, you went to them for support in terms of maybe getting people, rallying people around you to get you to that position. It's going to be a bargain, all right? So these people, you cannot determine what their own intentions are when they get to power. And these people are going to give you issues, all right? So Obi does not seem to me as a kind of person that can, you know, dig his feet to the ground and, you know, this was somebody that was losing his cool on national TV, for crying out loud. just because someone was being diplomatic in a tactical way with him, Dino Melaye. And then it was like, I think you saw that clip, and then it was like, Dino, please, enough is enough, you know, blah blah blah. And that's not gonna do it. I'm sorry, but a man with that kind of attitude has a long way to go. That's the truth. I don't know how to explain it, but it doesn't. A leader will find a way. No, it's not as if he's not a leader. I'm just saying someone who has the charisma of being a Nigerian president will have a way to downplay whatever Dino Melaye was saying at that point and get back to him in a cool and collected manner. All right, so I don't think Obi has the tenacity to run the nation. I think he's going to get frustrated sharply into it. And on the other hand, I don't think Nigerians are ready to forgo their corruption power. I'm talking about Nigerians now. I don't think we are ready, because it's going to take a whole lot of adjustment. If someone like Obi comes in, it will take a whole lot of adjustment. It will mean a lot of things. Some things that we have been able to do in the past easily, you know, all those times that you have to pay somebody to get your file up on time, you know, because you have somebody somewhere you call because you have connect. Those things might change. You might have to actually wait your turn. And then you feel like you have money or you have a say or something, you start getting frustrated because you're not having it your way. And I don't think someone like Obi is going to actually come and make those changes gradually. I think those changes, he might. It's not impossible, but I think the changes he will make will force a lot of things on us as Nigerians, and it will be too much for us to adjust to at the same time. So that's what I'm saying. I think Obi is the right candidate in the wrong time. We're not ready for Obi yet. And there are a lot of external forces too that has to be dealt with. And these people are actually going to play on your intelligence. I'm talking about other foreign countries. They're actually going to play on your intelligence and force your hands to the back, to actually make some decisions. And these decisions can, for someone like Obido who is trying to get pedigree, in the office, is going to actually put a dent. He already has some dents in his political moves in life. While he was Anambra State governor, there's an allegation that he used the state funds for a project and bought shares for his family in it or something. I think I read on it, and then him coming publicly to say, though he has no shares in it, it's only his family. It doesn't make any sense. Does not make any sense. Your family should not have a share in it. It's not your property. The state fund is not your fund. If anybody has to buy shares in it, let the people of Anambra buy the shares. So I'm not saying your family members are not people of Anambra State. I'm just saying that if you have majority of the shares, it says a lot about you, or people see you in a different light, a different perspective. Okay, so it says a lot. And then the Pandora leak is still there too, and there's still allegations against him. Of course, the Obedience are trying to sway the narrative from his lapses or his weaknesses as a person, and just focusing on it's Obi for what? We want to know Obi for what? For why? Obi why? Okay, I'm not against Obi. Please, it's totally different. I have myself also concerning the remaining candidates, right? So, but Obi seems to be the right candidate who happens to have come at the wrong time. Okay, something should precede Obi. Someone should precede Obi, and the kind of person that can precede Obi, unfortunately, I don't see the person. I don't trust Atiku, and I don't think anybody trusts Atiku. And the reason why it's hard to trust Atiku is nobody knows anything about Atiku. Whoever knows anything about Atiku knows there's nothing about Atiku that is tangible, that is out there. Everything we have about Atiku are rumors. He killed somebody, it's a rumor. We don't know for a fact. He's the owner of Mikano, causing NEPA not to give light in Nigeria. We don't know. They are rumors. We are not sure of these allegations. So it's hard to actually even trust a man because you don't really know what he has done. He was a vice president of Nigeria under the dispensation of Obasanjo, and we don't know anything about him. We just know Obasanjo can't stand him, and we don't know why. And to a very great measure, that happens to look like a dangerous man to some extent. We don't know anything about him. We only know he married an Igbo woman, he was the vice president, he's a northerner, and he's rich. And then he sponsors a lot of political people into power with his money back then. So we know about Atiku, and that's dangerous. We can't run on that. We can't run on that. He's trying to get into power with his money, with his affluence. That's hard. That's hard. That's hard. Tinubu, on the other hand, okay, now, please, before I talk about Tinubu, please, let's have an open mind, okay? So, everybody is saying Tinubu is not healthy, right? And I agree that an unhealthy person shouldn't be ruling this country. That's the truth. Whoever is going to be ruling this country should have loads of energy and even look for more. So, on the note of health, Tinubu is not doing a lot for himself in that regard. And but this country has actually had a president. We voted in a president who was not healthy twice. Okay, and one was doing very well. Yar'Adua was doing very well, but his life was cut short. And Buhari now, I don't know, 6 months into governance, they rushed him to London. He came back, and he's hale and hearty. God has been faithful. God has been good. We got the same Buhari back. And you know, he's healthy, it's good now, going for rallies, shaking his broom, doing everywhere, shaking his tail, and we thank God. Okay, so I'm just saying, probably health is not so much of a prerequisite. I think whoever is going to rule Nigeria knows what to do about his or her health, okay, to sustain him or her. You know, they want to enjoy power too, they don't want to die early. What's the point of going into power when you know you might not survive more than 6 months there? That's not the being a president is not the only reason why they want to go there. You might want to go there for the money, for the influence, for the power, for the connection. So if you know your health is going to cut that short for you, of course you want to go into it without having that assurance that you have something you want to do about your health, because you know there are vipers around you who are ready to, you know. So I don't think we should really take too much, we should really get ourselves concerned too much about the health issue of Tinubu. I think I think we can use Tinubu. The reason why I say we can use Tinubu is, I think in his quest of greedily, don't let me use the word greedily because he has been a catalyst of some people getting into power. I think, of course, he wants to go into power for himself, right? But his intellectual prowess, his desire to build things into what can carry him for a number of years. Look at Lagos. He totally directs the affairs of Lagos right now, practically. Come on. But Lagos, in comparison with other states, it's far. It's far. It's like America to Ghana. Sorry to Ghana. It's not as if Ghana is bad, if anything, But he has a way of building something that can amount to long-term success. It might have the larger share of it, but we will definitely benefit from it. Okay? Lagos problem right now is probably the NURTW people, having some sort of power, his family members, the government, the people in government ruling with him also have a say, they can do some things, but I think it's a requirement that they add to the development of what they meet on ground. So whenever it changes dispensation, you see more development, coming up with them. It might not be much, but they increase it. So there's no them destroying the pedigree that he has put there. They just build on it and keeps building up and going and going and going. So I think if we're open-minded enough, we know that Tinubu can start something for Nigeria in terms of pedigree, in terms of foreign policy relationships, in terms of intelligence, how to coyly find a way to have a relationship with other countries in terms of our produce and their produce, getting things cheap for us, getting more money from them, and setting the tone that Nigeria is a country to look at. Truthfully, I think we can get that from Tinubu. That's the truth. That's the truth. Let's cut the BS. That's the truth. Alright? But the downside is this. When those developments comes, we'll pay through our teeth. Alright? Nigeria might be very expensive. And Nigerians, of course, businesses will come in. So it will just be like, what it gives you, it takes back from you. Something like that. But you'll be comfortable enough within, the country. That's similar to Canada right now. That's similar. So we can start that building from someone like Tinubu. Tinubu is not the promise, that this Nigeria is waiting for. But it can give the first stone. It can place the first stone, the first cornerstone for its building to the degree that we want it. That's the truth. That's the truth. After Tinubu left governance, Fashola came in. Yeah? Was it Fashola? I think so. Fashola came in. And Fashola did excellently well. And Fashola had a different intention from Tinubu's. Right? Somebody came in. There was development. There was growth, more growth. Sanwo-Olu came in, more growth. So I think it's a stepping stone to, something greater, and it's old. Okay, so we can use him, is what I'm saying. We can use him and just patiently wait for the right man that we want to come in after he has done majority of the work. Let's just let him go and do the work. That's why I said we'll pay through at it. Economically, it will be okay for us because we'll be able to make ends meet. There will be more businesses, more investors. But somehow it will be taken back from us in a way. But we'll have provision. That's what I'm saying. You provide it. Anything else on Tinubu I want to talk about? Yeah. In terms of the security issue, I think it's the best man for the security issue in Nigeria, really, because he has the influence with the northerners, and it's easy to negotiate and find an intellectual way of, collapsing the whole thing. Truthfully, if we have to be sincere. On the part of Peter Obi, I think Peter Obi would be efficient with economy majorly, but his efficiency will only give stability to economy in terms of, I don't know, you can drop your comments, please drop your comments in the comment section about this that I'm about to say. I think if Peter Obi comes into power, I don't see a lot changing with inflation. I think what he can do is probably, yes, beat the dollar down to a comfortable level against the naira, and but in terms of economical growth, I think the only thing it can actually really give to Nigeria will be stability, not the whole imbalance in the whole financial market. So I think it can give that stability, that smooth flow, because of what he would majorly be investing in, where he would majorly be allowed to improve will be the economy, really. I think that's where we'll find Obi's strength. With this security, I think he will want to use force, and those people will retaliate in a big way, in a very big way, and I don't think we'll even be able to stand the retaliation. It won't be something we've ever seen in this country before. If he tries to use force on those people, I don't think the only way to deal with the security issue of this country is through intelligence. And I'm not talking about security intelligence, I'm talking about real human intelligence, real intelligence of somebody being able to observe situations, make the appropriate calls on situations, and in a very precise and diplomatic way. I don't see Obi doing that. Even if he tries to do the diplomatic way, he won't be respected, and he wants to use force, which will backfire big time. No, I don't think Obi will be successes on the security thing at all. I think for the fact that him being an Igbo man in that position is even going to cause an uproar in itself, and him unable to manage it or being frustrated in managing it will just pour petrol on the fire, and everything will just so Obi is like a waiting keg of powder for security in this country, man. It's either it comes in, turns a blind eye to it, and let them just run their operation, or it tries to do his best and it just backfires. So I don't think Obi can help us in the situation of security. Sorry. Like I said, there's nothing about Atiku I want to say. I don't know. I don't know that man, really. And I don't think anybody really does. That's the truth. I don't think anybody really does. Alright, it's already 30 minutes. So thank you for listening, and please drop a comment, subscribe to the channel, and share. Please share. Thank you very much. See you next time.